When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab regularly. This is a new fanfiction. As you can tell by the thumbnail, this is part 0 of the arrival of the Blood Moon Pack. As we start our story off in the Dark Multiverse, on one of the negative Earths in the Dark Multiverse. The Dark Multiverse and a negative Earth are a twisted version of the pure multiverse, or positive, whatever, how you want to phrase it. This is still in the mindscape of DC. The Dark Multiverse is where the Batman Who Laughs comes from, so I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about if you're not familiar with the recent comics they've released. Unlike the other negative Earths in the Dark Multiverse, this Earth never had heroes, never had a Superman, never had a Batman, never had a Wonder Woman, nor a Flash, not even a Green Lantern. This negative Earth is in a continuous battle between 3 species found on this negative Earth that found their home on this Earth, the Lycans, or the terms they're most likely known for, werewolves. Then there is the vampires. They're completely different than the legends you would find in the positive multiverse. Sun doesn't affect them whatsoever. Holy water crosses don't work. They do have a similar ability like all folklore about vampires do. They're able to turn humans into a lesser vampire. These lesser vampires are much more easier to deal with compared to purebloods. Outside of a completely capitation, they're pretty much unstoppable, and they're able to reproduce like humans. Then you have the humans that were forced to turn into hunters for survival. They were caught in the middle between the war between the 2 supernatural creatures raging their war. Humanity was forced to take part into the war just out of survival. The vampires wanted this war to be ended on their side winning. So they came up with a devilish idea. So they started to contact one of the werewolf packs that refused to take part in the bloodshed. And that specific pack, werewolf pack, was the Blood Moon Pack. They were hesitant at first. The werewolf pack eventually saw it. In the vampire's point of view, their species will most likely not survive this war. Likelihood of their pack surviving, being attacked by two different factions, on both sides. So the Blood Moon Pack was forced to evolve. The entire pack went through several deadly experiments, combining vampire blood with werewolf blood. The first generation of hybrids were born to act like their secret weapons. When their numbers increased to a acceptable level, they unleashed them upon their enemies. The war manifests. The war intensified when the Blood Moon Pack arrived. They were stronger, faster than their werewolf counterparts, and vampire as well. Even when the vampires unleashed the hybrids, they kept their identity concealed. Even though they have debuted into the war, the identity of them being hybrids is kept well secret. Only the higher ups in the vampire society knows of the hybrids. It's been several generations, several years since the hybrids made their debut onto the war. The war is still raging on, with no end in sight. As our main OC is officially born, the moment Leon Blood was able to walk, he was put in intense and sometimes deadly training, from knowledge to physical training to battle strategy, espionage, sabotage, infiltration, and fairly other knowledge he needs to train in. Leon is the first of his kin that's able to use magic. It is well known vampires can't use magic, nor can werewolves. Only magic vampires have able to perform is blood magic. When they notice his magical talent out in blood magic and other magic, they immediately begin to provide him with any magical tomes, grimoires, that they get their hands on from their past battles with the magic population like witches, warlocks, and sorcerers of the human population of the magical world. Magic has always been a main thing in humanity's development. Creating technology with magic. The vampire's technology is far more advanced than the humans. After all, they just recently able to combine technology and magic, unlike the vampires that have been doing it for several generations. When they were satisfied with his training, they threw him into the midst of the battlefield when he was 14 years old. As Leon Blood is wearing a pitch black clothing with a black and red overcoat with a hood over his head, concealing his identity. Only thing anyone could see is his glowing red eyes. The bottom part of his face has a face guard, basically only exposing his eyes. When Leon finally made it to the secret base, when he stepped inside, all of the vampires became silent. When Leon Blood entered one of their secret temporary headquarters, just outside of the main battlefield that is taking place. Good, you're here. A fairly older vampire greeted the young hybrid with a stern expression on his face. I've witnessed what you hybrids can do, so I won't go into the facts that this is your first actual combat experience, your very first experience when it comes to actual combat outside of sparring and training. I'm very aware of the lack of knowledge, sir, when it comes to live combat. It is true, I have little to none experience in actual war. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You just need to unleash me, and everything else will fall in place. Carve a path wherever you sent me. Vitiate didn't seem impressed. Good to see you have spirit. You're gonna need it. But my superiors want to see you, what you're capable of. So you won't be taking part in the main battle, for right now. But that doesn't mean I don't have anything for you. We're a couple of miles away from a encampment. A human encampment that they place there purposely to train their hunters. There's many similar encampments these hunters have scattered all around their nation. And and your orders are completely simple, my boy. You're to eradicate them. We've already cut off their reinforcements. They're easy pickings. This is to test, to see if it was even worth our while putting so much effort in you creatures. I'll make it clear. I might find you hybrids to be abomination. But the results of you filthy hybrids is evidence enough that you're efficient. Vitiate put his finger up before Leon could protest. Now, before you say anything, despite my personal feelings about your species, you are but under my command, and I will treat you as such. And you're an asset I can't misuse. Now get out of here and get gear up. You're leaving in 30. Now leave my sight. Leon gave Vitiate a short bow and left. Leon has experienced prejudice with some of the elitists of the vampire species. He knows how to handle them. He'll follow his orders, as long as they're not trying to outright try to kill him. He'll kill the bastard if he tries to attempt that. He went to gear up and grab what he needed from the armory. After passing over the papers of what equipment he needed for the mission, he armed himself more tougher face guard to protect the bottom part of his face. They gave him several vials of blood just for emergencies, not enough to satisfy the hybrid, but enough to jumpstart the regeneration in case he receives a serious injury. But the likelihood of a hybrid being injured so badly is unlikely. But it's always good to be careful just in case. Better to have the vials than not need them than have the vials than he needs them. Leon also equipped himself with a short black katana. They also fitted him with a couple of potions that will help him replenish some of his magical energy when he gets low. They provided him with regulated pistol with a silencer on it, with a extended clip. He put the pistol in the holster under his and on his lower back, underneath his coat, and began to walk towards the front entrance to the place, ready to wait for his mission to start. Once the time finally hit, when he needed to start his operation, he immediately ran through the secret entrance out of the base and ran into the forest in moderate vampire speed. He pressed his earpiece to contact command. This is Blood, on my way to the target location, going radio silent. This is the Blood Oracle. Copy that, Ancient Blood. Proceed with the mission. As the communication was cut shortly afterwards. The human compound was right dag in the middle of the forest. As they made a clearing around the compound, and built a large metal wall surrounding the entire encampment. On the wall, they also have several placed sniper watchtowers all around the boundaries onto the wall of the encampment. Leon noticed there were several patrols patrolling the outside of the encampment with armor piercing armor. Well, the vehicles, they have armor piercing. Leon knew infiltrating the encampment using stealth is completely possible, but that's not why he's here. He's not here to sneak around and pick them off one by one. He's here to obliterate them. And sneaking is not required. So he jumped off of the tree branch into the open as several humans in their vehicles turn around when they notice him and begin to immediately open fire with their magical miniguns on their trucks. Shoot at Leon, only for Leon to dodge every single shot coming from the minigun. When he began to run, while they're shooting at him with their miniguns, Leon began to run circles around the vehicles. Leon jumped in the middle of the air and landed on top of the hood of the vehicle and grabbed the human behind the minigun and ripped off his head and threw his body to the side, slamming into a nearby vehicle. Leon ripped the minigun off the truck and immediately opened fire on the truck that he's standing on, killing the driver and the passenger inside the vehicle instantly, mowing them down. As he jumped off the exploding vehicle and proceeded to shoot at the other vehicles, mowing down anyone he sees with the magical minigun. One of the armor piercer cars that are clearly have tough armor for bullets, but not so much for laser weapons. When it got close, he mowed it down as the vehicle exploded right before it could hit Leon. When the smoke cleared, you could see Leon calmly walking out of the fire with the minigun in one hand, as his crimson eyes is glowing brightly for all the humans to see. Leon immediately proceeded to shoot down all the vehicles around him that he noticed. I'll give it to the humans. They're a master when it comes to creating weapons for killing. Quite impressive tech. And to think, they're starting to develop magical weapons using technology. Stubborn race they are. As Leon tossed the magical minigun to the side casually, as he approached closer to the encampment, only for the entire encampment to be encased in a magical dome barrier, preventing this very intrigued hybrid for further entry. Several hunters started to flank Leon. When he got close enough, he immediately opened fire. Well, they immediately opened fire, only for Leon to swiftly catch each bullet in the palm of his hand as he slowly released the bullet from his grip, as the bullets harmlessly fall to the ground. It won't help you, humans. He quick draw his pistol and kill them all in mere seconds as he put his gun back in his holster behind his back underneath his coat. As more humans or hunters came towards his direction, as he unsheathed his katana, short katana, and chopped off their heads. Then he started to extend his claws on his opposite hand and began to slash at them, as well as stabbing them with his katana. When all the humans were either cut down by his sword or killed by using his finger-like claws. I know you could hear me, humans, inside your protected shell. You can't stop me. You all will die here tonight. But I gotta admit, that's quite the powerful barrier spell you cast. Unfortunately, the caster is a completely idiot, most likely a novice, couldn't even cast the spell correctly. I already see several flaws in your spell. Such a pity. I don't know who you are. He or she, matters not. But I'm going to kill you for such a pitiful attempt to cast a mid-grade barrier spell. It is an embarrassment to all magic users. Leon slammed his fist into the barrier, into one of the weak spots that was created when they cast the spell incorrectly, as the blue barrier dome barrier shatters into millions of pieces as Leon calmly walked into the main gate, or walked towards the main gate, and begins to walk slowly as the two sniper towers that got Leon in view immediately opened fire. Leon was dodging every sniper shot, making after images of himself as he moves around their shots, and created two black fireballs and shot them towards the two sniper towers that are shooting at Leon. When the fireballs made contact, both towers exploded in a black explosion. What Leon just used was a combination spell. He created his own fireball spell and upgraded to a exploding fireball. In order to create such a spell, he had to be quite knowledgeable about fire magic and wind magic, combining two elements into one spell. Leon immediately created a larger exploding fireball, a black fireball, and shot it towards the metal gate. The moment the black exploding fireball made impact, the entire gate was completely gone. When the explosion receded, Leon calmly walked through the smoke and unsheathed his short katana and chopped off a hunter's head that was ready to run him through with a silver sword. He's a hybrid, so silver has not as big of a... Silver does have an effect on him, but not... Well, technically, as a hybrid, he would have a higher resistance towards silver. Not completely immune, but he can... Silver doesn't weaken him like other vampires do and werewolves. Little bit of resistance when it comes to silver. Even pure blood vampires have some sort of weakness when it comes to silver. But as a hybrid, silver couldn't really kill him. It could weaken him. Then maybe you chopped off his head, then probably you could kill him, but stabbing silver into his heart won't kill him. It'll weaken him quite a bit, but not kill. But hybrids are a different entire species. Not even the vampires know exactly what our hybrids are capable of. They are fully aware there's a chance they might rebel against them, but it was a necessary risk to end the war, to kill the werewolves, and subjugate the humanity as their personal buffet. Of course, Leon is fully aware of their intentions. He doesn't agree with it, but there's not much he can do about it. Not that he cares about humanity. There are just some lines he won't cross, like subjugating an entire species to feed off like they're mere cattle. He would never be okay with that, but he has no choice but to play along. Leon begins to use his acrobatics to dodge and weave around all of the hunters in the compound, brutally cutting them down by targeting their vital organs like brain, heart, lungs, tendons, and such. Even when the magic users join into battle, Leon easily maneuvered around their magical spells and simply casts a small barrier over himself to absorb the attack, then casts his own spell by blasting them with his black fireball. That exploded on impact to a lesser degree, but it's still incredibly dangerous, making the rest of the humans spread out. Pathetic. Bring your hunters, bring your mages, bring your witches, bring your sorcerers. The result will always be the same. They will fall upon my feet. Like I said earlier, if you haven't been paying attention, every single one of you mortals will die. Will spare no one. Leon stopped a swinging sword with one fingernail. Clearly you haven't been listening. But you're a brave one. It seems we have our first volunteer. Leon grabbed the man by the face and lifted him up slightly above the ground, then immediately crushed his skull as brain matter and pieces of his skull begins to spray all around the nearby area. My apologies. I tend to forget you humans are quite delicate. As he released a dead human, as he falls down to the ground. As he used the dead human's clothes to wipe off the blood from his hand. Any more volunteers? As Leon gave them a mocking bow. Suddenly, 3 fully transformed werewolves landed all around Leon, boxing him in. Leon watched the humans thank the werewolves for them to show up. I never thought humans would team up with werewolves or Lycans. But for you, you're werewolves. You're not purebloods. You're not true werewolves. But it is quite an interesting turn of events, nevertheless. Out of here, human. Evacuate and get your people out of here. Get your people out of here into safety. You've already lost. This compound has clearly been compromised. What do you mean? He's just a vampire. Apparently that knows magic, but still a vampire. Surely, with us, and you and your 3 werewolf comrades, would be enough to take on a singular werewolf. That's where you're wrong, human. As the head werewolf in this little group, kept an eye on Leon, just in case he decided to act. You're not dealing with some average vampire you come across. No, you're dealing with a hybrid. I could smell it. Even 3 of us could take on the hybrid. It would take several purebloods to do so, and unfortunately, all 3 of us are all churned vampires. No, sorry, all 3 of us are all churned werewolves. In other words, you're giving them time to escape. Quite a noble act for werewolves. I don't want to hear anything from you, traitor. Traitor, am I? Such harsh words. You wound me. I'll do more than wound you. You're a goddamn abomination. You and the rest of your kin. I don't know what pack you came from, but any pack that would subjugate themselves to filthy vampires are no werewolf pack to me. Unfortunately, I can't have that. My orders were very clear on the matter. None of you are going to survive. Human, werewolf, whatever. You're all dead. As Leon snapped his fingers, as his own magical barrier dome engulfed the entire city. Well, not city, but encampment, trapping everyone inside. Like I said, none of you here tonight will leave this encampment alive. Never fought and killed a werewolf before, so this will be a learning experience for the both of us. And you clearly know too much. So, who wants to die first? The humans? Or the mutts? So many choices. Maybe your magic users will go first. That would be quite entertaining. Wouldn't you believe? Mutts? One of the werewolves began to charge and swing his claws at Leon. Leon dodged mere inches away from the sharp claws. Sharp claws, but I believe mine are sharper, as Leon instantly slashed upwards, slashing right across the werewolf's face, across his snout, piercing his eye. Then Leon immediately kicked the werewolf away into one of the buildings inside the encampment. He licked the blood from his claw-like fingernails. Disgusting. No wonder why vampires don't feed on your kind. It's quite foul. I suppose I have to get rid of these oversized mutts and get back to what I originally was going to do. as he grabbed a charging werewolf that he injured by slashing him across his face, grabbed onto his snout, and ripped his mouth apart, killing the werewolf in such a brutal manner. As the corpse slowly shifted back into his human form, as the dead body of the werewolf shifted in and dropped to the ground at the same time, Leon immediately set the corpse on fire with a minor fire spell on the spot. Well, seems like you're only 2 werewolves left. It's not looking good for you. Not in the slightest. I'm kind of feeling like I'm the bad guy here, like I'm the bully. But orders are orders. All the nearby blood begins to shoot into Leon's palm, immediately forming into a blood orb. Then that blood orb shot up in the middle of the air. Instantly the blood orb exploded as the blood rain turned into blood spikes that rained down upon everyone. The humans and werewolves try to take cover in nearby buildings. Leon followed one of the werewolves inside the building. He appeared in front of the panicking werewolf. Not so fast, little wolf. I'm quite curious how you know of my existence, or at least the existence of hybrids. And I believe my superiors would be quite interested in your involvement here tonight. I'm not telling you shit, monster. Monster, am I? Do you want to see a monster? I'll show you a monster. As Leon gave him a smirk, but the werewolf couldn't see it over the face guard over his face. Leon slowly started to shift into his werewolf form. Leon finally stopped shifting into his werewolf form. He towered over the 2 werewolves that are inside the building. Leon is clearly bigger compared to the 2 werewolves. In truth, Leon is the biggest hybrid when it comes to the actual size of his transformation when he becomes a werewolf, or in his wolf form. Clothes have been altered so he doesn't rip his clothes during his transformation. Leon gave a powerful roar as the 2 werewolves didn't immediately charge Leon, and that slight hint hesitation cost them their lives, as Leon grabbed both of the werewolves by the head and slammed them into the wall, then began to punch them continuously with his left and right fists until the werewolves were pushed through the wall and came out of the building, sliding across the ground. The rain is still raining down upon the humans and werewolves once again. One of the werewolves tried to use a leaping attack, only for Leon, in his wolf form, grabbed him by the throat, then used his opposite hand to create a black exploding fireball and shot it at the other werewolf, killing him in the explosion. Then Leon ripped the throat out the werewolf by biting onto his throat as he tossed his body to the side and used a fire spell in his wolf form and destroyed the corpses. As Leon slowly shifted back Not even his clothes had a smudge of dirt or tear on it. His clothes were completely fine from head to toe. Before he left, he chopped off one of the werewolf's heads and placed a spell over it so it would be unable to shift back into his human form, at least the head itself, and put it in a pocket dimension. Then he began to kill any survivors, then set fire to the encampment. When he finally got back and saw his commander waiting for him inside, Vitiate, he tossed the severed head of the werewolf in front of his feet. Mission completed. But I found something interesting. As Vitiate noticed the severed werewolf skull or head at his feet. What does a severed werewolf head has to do with anything? Oh, nothing much. Just the fact that these werewolves that showed up were helping the humans. I got a shock reaction from the stern older vampire. Are you certain? I didn't outright say it. Outright say they have an alliance, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the werewolves notice they're on the losing side and form some sort of alliance with the humans, the lesser of two evils and all that. You might be right. Even if this is an isolated incident, I can't chance it. I need to get some more information before I send the intel to head command. You done good job. You have done a good job. Get some rest. There'll be plenty of things for you to do. Understood, sir. Before you leave, keep what you discovered between us. Things would only panic if this information got out. Got it, sir. It won't get exposed. From me, at least. As he immediately went back to his quarters that he was assigned to, when Leon found his room, he closed the door, pulled out his enchanted blood orb for long distance communications. Leon activated the small red crystal ball by spilling a little bit of his blood onto it. The red crystal ball began to become bright crimson red as an image of a female vampire could be seen inside the orb. Good. I was expecting you to contact me. So how did it go, my dear boy? Everything went according to plan. Good. Keep an eye on him. Can I speak freely? Of course, my dear boy. That guy, Vitiate, he's a bit of a dick. A prejudiced dick. But he doesn't seem like the traitor type. True. We've only heard rumors, but those rumors must be investigated thoroughly. That's why you're there, my boy. You're not like the other hybrids. You're stronger, faster than the rest of them, your fellow kin, and my blood runs through your veins. That automatically makes you superior. Yes, Lady Victoria. That won't do. You know how to address me properly. Yes, Mother. Better. You might have been brought into this world not in the traditional sense, like your fellow hybrids. You were brought into this world by science and magic. Doesn't change the fact that you're still one of my children. As you know, the wolf blood that is in your veins was donated to the Covenant to create a powerful hybrid. Your wolf mother might not be among us anymore, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I don't worry about you. Just be careful dealing with Valkorion. He is a elitist. If he's indeed a traitor, kill him. With pleasure, Mother. Good. I heard you had your first taste of battle. A little birdie told me you fought some werewolves. I found their involvement with the humans to be troubling. How did you? My sweet child, of course I know. There's not a lot of things I don't know what's going on. Good Mother, my first taste of real life battle was quite interesting, but I didn't find it weird that the werewolves and humans were working together. It's only natural they would work together. After all, they are currently losing the war, according to what intel you provided me. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. I will definitely bring it up in the next council meeting. But I wonder how they knew I was a hybrid in the first place. That's troubling news. I know we've been using hybrids in the war for a while now, but we've kept their existence mostly kept secret. And the only reason the werewolves could know such information, that we indeed have a traitor among our ranks. Be vigilant, my child. You can't trust anyone, except for your dear old mother. Of course, your dear young mother, of course. As you command, Mother. Keep me updated on your progress, and take care of yourself and feed regularly. Of course, Mother. As the communication was cut from the blood orb communication device that was made by using blood magic in a simple crystal ball that was shrunken for travel size for easy access to make the communication device more convenient as he placed it back into his coat. After getting a much needed blood delivery to his room by one of the staff that works inside the temporary headquarters, after getting his blood, as he begins to drink it out of a glass, he knows to drink from the source, but he's not a savage. He's more than capable of using a glass like a normal person. He begins to drink his blood while reading a book. The book itself was written by a human, discussing theories on multiverses. Leon found the idea of multiverses out there to be an intriguing theory. With magic theory, it is possible to travel such multiverses if they actually exist, but no spell has ever been created, nor has any magic user tried to accomplish such a feat. Reality warping is quite tricky. And that's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judged by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.